Let me start by saying good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you're joining this session from. I hope you're having a good time enjoying Teams Nation. First, I want to say a very big thank you to Chris Old and the rest of the Teams Nation crew for the opportunity for me to be a part of this. So in this session, like Paul rightly mentioned, so we're going to be looking at how Teams is being utilized in Nigeria to help empower young individuals in learning or work, right? So that's the topic that we're going to be looking at today. So we're starting things with the Nigerian jollof rice. So you probably might be wondering, what has this got to do with Microsoft Teams? Well, not much. I'm from Nigeria, and when we talk Nigeria, one of the very popular thing that comes to mind is the Nigerian jollof rice. So I'm sharing this so at least when next you see the jollof rice, at least Nigeria comes to mind. All right, so let's get straight at it now. Here are the contents, what we're going to be discussing today. We start off with an introduction of myself. We look at Microsoft Team use cases here in Nigeria. We look at how Teams is empowering people, and we'll try to wrap things up. So a little bit of a background. Teams is what we all know about, right? So there isn't, I shouldn't start telling you about what Teams is. But what I would like to mention is that, it depends on how people want to make use of Teams. Teams is being used differently and at different level, depending on people's scope of work. So we have people, for instance, that will make use of Team for work. We have people that will use Team to learn, like in the case of students. So a number of students, in fact, a number of universities and even tertiary education in Nigeria now are beginning to leverage Microsoft Teams. So people would use Team for attending meetings, and a number of the community guys too will leverage Microsoft Teams to run their community events. Right. So now let's look at the different use cases, that I was able to put together about Microsoft Teams here in Nigeria. So here's what I've done, as opposed to just talking to you about team use cases here in Nigeria. So I thought it would be more interesting to have people talk to us about how they are leveraging Teams. So what I've done is cook up some little interview with different people so they can walk us through how they're using Microsoft Teams. So we're going to be kicking things off with this very first video here. So it's a video of somebody who works in a bank, at a bank here in Nigeria. So just take a listen. Paul, are people able to hear the voice?
It came through, but it was a little bit tinny. It was a bit echoey.
Okay, it came through just the echo. Okay. All right.
Now we can't hear it. It's not coming through now.
What did you say?
Sorry, I was saying that the sound wasn't coming through that time.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still not getting the sound, I'm afraid. Sorry, Kazeem, we can't hear the sound on the video. It's not coming through.
Okay, the sound isn't coming through.
No.
Okay. All right, let me try to reshare then. So just a moment.
When you share, there should be a little
Yeah, this sound.
sound.
Yes. And now, Paul?
Yes, that sound was coming through then. Perfect.
Okay. All right.
It stopped again though, so I don't know why it suddenly stopped.
Sorry?
The sound has stopped coming through again. It was coming through, but then it stopped.
Wow. I'm just going to share again. Teams to use. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Yes, first, I'd like you to tell us a little. Is that fine, Paul?
Yeah, that's working.
A little bit about you and where you work.
Okay, my name, like you said, is Richard Essien. I work with Nigerian Export-Import Bank in the IT department. I'm IT manager. I oversee the infrastructure, basically, all the infrastructure of the IT infrastructure. And in that process, I tend to do more things like scripting and other deployment of a lot of products, especially Microsoft products. And along the line, I deployed 365, which has led to me also using Microsoft Teams. So basically, that's me, IT manager running the IT infrastructure.
Oh, okay. The interview is going to be a very brief one. So I would just like to find out from you, for you to share your experience of how yourself and your teams are able to leverage on Microsoft Teams.
Okay, it all started during the pandemic last year when there was a lockdown. So we needed to work from home. We already had VPNs working, but we couldn't get things like videos and audios and meetings and events. So to keep the bank moving, we decided to use Teams. And when we started working with Teams, it really worked out for us because we could do most of our ESCO meetings, which are executive meetings, called executive committee meetings. We could do our board meetings. We could also do staff meetings. Staff were not meeting, there was collaboration. And since we mostly we bought the whole 365 suite, so we could have the teams where we could collaborate through SharePoint by sharing. But the teams really came into play because it really helped us during that pandemic because most of the staff went into the office. We were all working from home. And even the deployment, we mostly did the deployment from home. Because since we had a VPN, so it was easy for us to do, and because it's on-prem, so we had to do like a hybrid. And it really helped us during that pandemic, seriously, to really stay afloat working. So we actually didn't shut down because of the teams, we did not.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Richard, for sharing your experience with me this afternoon. So I think that will be all for this brief interview.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and in the next video, I have an interview with somebody else who runs an online school. So take a listen to how she and the rest of our team are also using Microsoft Teams.
Hi, I'm with Bukola Yusuf this afternoon, and I'm going to be talking to her about how she and her team of teachers have been able to put Microsoft Teams to use. Good afternoon, Bukola.
Good afternoon, Kazeem.
Yes. Can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bukola Yusuf, and I'm the head of school of Greenview Academy Online School. And like I said, online. So I manage an online school. So that's what I do.
That's a quick introduction. I'm doing a quick survey to find out about how people here in Nigeria have been able to put Microsoft Teams to use, either in their workplaces or how they've been able to use it to learn. And I know you run an online school. So do you mind, can you walk us through how you're leveraging Teams with your team?
Sure. Okay. So first and foremost, it's a primary school. We have classes from years 1 to 5. So we've created channels, team channels for each of these classes. Year 1 through 5 have their separate team channels. And our students can access their lessons, via these channels. Then secondly, managing the teachers, we have a general staff meeting Teams channel. This is where the teachers, log into every morning, Mondays to Fridays, from 8 o'clock to about 8:30. We meet every morning, to review the day's activity, our itineraries for the day, and go through what has transpired yesterday. If there are any observations, complaints, or what have you. Then we also use this channel for staff trainings. When we have, when we employ the teachers, they have to be trained on how to use Teams, to teach and all. We use it for staff trainings. We use it for events, when we have school events, and like if there are any presentations. And with school events, our students join, the parents join, other stakeholders join, to participate in these events. And when the children have presentation, they just have to share their screen. They will already have prepared, whatever it is they will have to present. And finally, personally, I'm able to know what is going on in each of these classes. Once school starts by 8 o'clock, I log into each class channel to see if lessons are going the way they should be going, and if the students are all present, if the teacher is on time, and all that. For our teachers, we've also created individual Teams channel for our teachers based on the subjects that they take. On their own channels, they can access their lesson plans, their learning resources, and other materials. And for our students, the students join through their own class links, and they have interactive live sessions with their teachers. And we've also been able to use some tools, of Teams, like the Microsoft Forms. We use this for our assessments and other things. So that's how we've been able to use Teams to work. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time, and hopefully we'll do some more of this in the future. Thank you.
Yes, thanks for having me. Thank you.
All right, so the next interview is with some of the students of a university here in Nigeria, Lagos State University to be precise now. So, I was also trying to check to see how university students are also putting Microsoft Teams to use, and to also find out from them if Team is also gaining a lot of popularity, among the students. So here is what they have to share. I'm with some of the students of the Lagos State University this afternoon, and I'm going to be talking to them about how they put Microsoft Teams to use. Good afternoon to you guys.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Okay. So let's start things off with an introduction. I think we can start with yourself, Sean.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Oluwashandabiri. I'm a student of the Department of Theatre and Music, Lagos State University. I'm in my penultimate year. and I'm also a Microsoft student ambassador. Thank you.
How about Fawaz?
Okay, hello, good afternoon. My name is Fawaz Karim. I'm a student of computer science education, currently my levels, and I'm also the lead for Developer Students Club here in Lhasa. So that's it from me.
Okay. And we also have Lukman on the call as well. Hi, Lukman.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Aziz Lukman. I'm a student of Lagos State University, currently in my 300 level. I'm currently studying computer science. And I'm also I'm happy to lead the Open Source Community Africa year round Ojo at Lagos State University.
All right. So I'm putting together this small little survey for a program that we're going to be that I'm going to be having next month now, just to find out how people put Microsoft Teams to use here in Nigeria. And I thought it would also be nice to hear from you as students now how you use Microsoft Teams, either as students, doing it for your students, for your school activities, or your community work engagements now. So it would be nice to hear from you, share with us how you put it to use. So we can also take turns to share our experiences with Microsoft Teams now. So I guess we can start with this. We can start this with Sean.
Okay, yeah, as we all experienced a great shift due to the COVID pandemic since last year. The way education and lessons are being taught all over the world has changed drastically. So during the heat of the COVID, my department were contemplating on the best way for the lecturers and students to interact. And being a normal traditional department, Department of Music and Theatre Arts, we are always there on stage physically, dancing, practicing, playing your instruments here and there. So during the back and forth, I suggested we use Microsoft Teams for the lecturers to pass their lecture to students. So the department adopted the use of Microsoft Teams. So right now, we officially use Microsoft Teams in the Department of Theatre Arts and Music, Lagos State University, as the official platform for lecturer and student interaction. So, and also as a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, I use Microsoft Teams in all my programs because presently, due to the pandemic, you can't hold any physical events and the learning and community growth needs to go on. So I use Microsoft Teams all the time to conduct events, training, workshop among students and all. So basically, Microsoft Teams is a very important day-to-day tools I use. You don't want to see my team calendar. I use it almost every hour because my school lectures, community stuff, developer stuff, everything is intertwined with Microsoft Teams. Yeah, so that is it from me.
Thank you very much for that, Oluwaseun. How about yourself, Fawaz?
Yeah, okay. So can you guys hear me? As a student and also the Developer Student Club lead here in Lhasa, I've made use of Microsoft Teams a couple of times. So the first time I made use of it was when a friend of mine introduced it to me. I've been conversant with the video conferencing platforms such as Zoom and Google Meet. So then a friend of mine introduced it to me and was like, you should try it out. So it was this friend of mine was having issues with some of his schoolwork. So it was like we should try to collaborate and solve the issue together. So then we were using the normal phone call, and he was like, he wants to see my face and he wants me to explain and also share my screen. So I was like, okay, then no problem. So it was like, I asked him, which video conferencing platform does he use? He said Zoom and stuff. He was like, but he just heard of one, which is Microsoft Teams. I was like, okay, let's try it out and let's see how that works. Then we tried it out, and I must say it was a nice experience for me, and I really like the way the buttons are here, and it's kind of very user friendly, and the sound was cool, and the network. One thing I actually like about it, like in case you have a little network glitch, it's actually, once the network is back, it actually comes back again, and it's just as if nothing happened. So we used it that day to solve the assignments, and we actually submitted it online. Actually, I don't know what we got in that assignment, but I'm sure we did pretty well. Thank you for Microsoft Teams for that. And also for developers, the community stuff, I've actually used it for the event we actually used it for was when we, there's this event we had here in last week, TechX, and it was an event which was held both physically and virtually, because we have speakers speaking from different countries, likes of Oli, Lema, and different people from different countries. And so we needed to connect virtually and also physically. The audience were here physically, while the speakers were virtually, and some speakers, some audience were virtually. So, I must say, we actually use this, I've forgotten the name, Microsoft Live, also the one we can actually decide when we want to go live. And so it was like, I think the studio one. So it was really, really nice using that. And it was the feel was like both the speakers and the audience were in the same room. So it was really, really a nice experience. So those are my experiences with Microsoft Teams, and I really enjoy using Microsoft Teams.
Okay, thank you. And Lukman, you want to also share some of your experience with Microsoft Teams?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so as for me, I've had the experience of using Microsoft Teams for educational purposes also, as well with using it for my community, like the tech community also. Because here in my school, I run a couple of communities like Open Source Community Africa, communities for our club, and all of that. So I use Microsoft Teams mostly for running my tech communities also. One of my greatest experience with Microsoft Teams was the tech conference we had a couple of months ago. So like everything seemed so different. I've had conferences with teleconferencing platforms like Zoom and Google Meet also, but there was this great feel I had with it because there was this live event we used. I was able to like control everything in real time, like this kind of real time studio. I was able to control what the audience sees and what they don't see. I was able to be in charge of everything and the whole stuff there. So I really like the feel about that part. And one of the greatest things I like about Microsoft Teams also is there's a part when you log in as anonymous user also. So because here in Nigeria, like it's no news about our power issues every now and then, always low on power. In fact, currently my battery is on 10% also. So when it comes to battery usage, I don't know how they're able to achieve that, but Teams is very friendly with battery. And I'm even probably I'm supposed to jump on a meeting for education or probably for a meeting. So I'm able to just grab a friend's phone and just sign in as an anonymous user and just set my name and all of that. So it's very easy. Fine, it happens in Zoom, but I find it much more easier in Microsoft Teams also.
Thank you very much, guys, for sharing your experiences.
All right, and the last video I have is from a friend. He runs, he's an MVP here in Nigeria, and he runs community events from time to time as well. So I thought it would be nice to also have him on to share some of what he's been doing, running some of his community events with Microsoft Teams. So also take a listen to him.
Here I have Sheyi Oluwawumiju with me. Sheyi is one of the community leaders here in Nigeria. He's also a Microsoft MVP. And I'm going to be talking to him about how he has been able to leverage Microsoft Teams to empower and to also power some of the community events that he's been running. Good afternoon to you, Sheyi.
Hi, Kazeem. Thank you for having me. And good morning, good evening, good night to every other viewer across the world.
Yes, thank you. So let's start things with an introduction, Jay. It would be nice for people to know who you are, so a bit of who you are, and we can progress afterwards.
Okay. Just as Kazeem has rightly introduced me, my name is Oluwaseyi Oluwawumiju. I'm from Lagos, Nigeria, and I'm part of the community leads here that had been had the vision to reach out to the grassroots and try to use technology, especially Microsoft technology, to empower them, to envision them, and to use it as a curve to change their perception of our IT and what they want to do with IT. I'm also a Microsoft certified trainer, and I'm one of the MVP in Nigeria. So that's picking up from what Kazeem said earlier, adding that to it.
Okay then. Shea, I know you run a number of community events, right? And I know most of them are powered using Microsoft Teams. And part of why I'm doing this is to also do a little survey about how people leverage Microsoft Teams in Nigeria, how Microsoft Teams is also helping to empower individuals and people working here in Nigeria. So it would be nice, Shea, if you can share with us how you're using Microsoft Teams to drive some of these events that you run, and how has Teams also been able to empower you as a person and some of these other community members that you have in your community.
Oh, thank you for that. I think you're going to be the second person that is trying to get that same information. And I'll start the journey from when we started the physical community meetup, which was more like bringing people together and trying to train them, empower them, and open their eyes to things about technology. But the curve changed early last year when coronavirus hit the whole world. And although before then we have been having buckets of meetings using virtual, but it was not like having it as the core infrastructure for running your activity and your community meetup. And generally, there was a lot of, I'll start from behind the challenges. Technology is usually shipped across the world. Advanced countries like US, like UK, after doing their testing, look at the environment, they just ship it. And we have some peculiarity, especially Africa, and where I stay in Lagos, Nigeria, where we have challenge of infrastructure, we have challenge of power, we have challenge of even the data we are using, the bandwidth. And those are things we look at and say, how do we now work with our community, still reach out to them? Because that was the time we did a very almost 2 month training every day during the COVID knockdown, and we powered everything using Microsoft Teams. The advantage the frequency distribution, you can still have access to Teams. And when we started off, we saw more people were coming for the meetup. More people were attending our meetups, and we now move it up, we scale it up across all the products that Microsoft offer, including Azure, Power Platform, M365, Dynamics 365. We involve other community lead across major states in Lagos, in Nigeria rather. People from Abuja were able to join, people across Nigeria like Ghana, people from Cote d'Ivoire, people from other aspects of Africa were able to join, even people from UK, which seems to be able to help us. For the meetup, we're able to schedule meetings in several segments. We're able to distribute it according to the product lines. And Teams gave us all this. You can schedule it. People come in. You can control it. And people can easily share their content. And that was the major thing. And one thing that also gave us an advantage at that time was were able to record these meetings. Although there was challenge, then you have to download it from Stream, then move it to YouTube, which is changing gradually with the new injection, making immediately you have your meeting, you can have it on your channel now. That's what they are now storing those video files on your SharePoint or either SharePoint or OneDrive, unlike when they were using Stream as the core points. So challenge was able to be mitigated by team. During the lockdown, we reached more people. More people were empowered. More people understand technology. And after the lockdown, most of them have got jobs. I can tell you without, like several one I know, there's one chap from the University of Lagos, is now an MVP, and is one of the gold partner now. We remember when we started this meetup, it was upcoming. We used University of Lagos Theatre, then he was able to talk to the dean. But when we shifted to virtual, he was able to contribute his bit. He even created a bot that was helping people analyze whether, like informative, if you have COVID-19, and he created that bot with some group of university students then. And this guy, after that call, I think he has job even in bank in the US now. And he's not the only one. I know another one that is working in one bank in Nigeria, also from the University of Ife. And these are students that were empowered. These were people that were grassroots, people that had no opportunity. And with this community involvement, running it on team, we are able to empower them, give them direction. And today, they are self-sufficient. They are global players. And when you talk of global players, somebody in Nigeria, right down in Lagos or Mafoluku, and is talking as a business analyst to a Bank of America. Somebody in Nigeria working for Uplink. You can see most of them even got remote jobs. Some of them are even relocated. You can see the enablement, the collaboration forum that we use gave us that face. And that face was, they were able to use that face to empower themselves, to make a career for themselves. And for me, team was just it. Owing to our challenges, using team, and we're able to solve it. And we're able to do what we want to do for the community.
Yeah.
So I hope I have answered the question.
Very much so, Sheyi. Thank you. All right, so that's what I have. I guess my time now is almost up so that I can leave a little bit of time to entertain questions, but that's what we have. So in summary, we've seen that teams in Nigeria is able to, it's been able to empower a lot of people. You know, it's been able to empower the young people, the university students. A lot of businesses, a lot of individuals are also leveraging teams now in Nigeria. So it's becoming very popular, you know, amongst teachers here, because leveraging teams, meaning they're able to teach virtually now. They can look at teaching in more than one jobs. So which isn't something that is possible before the time of COVID, considering our traffic situation here in Nigeria. You know, you're spending about 3 hours in traffic every day. But now working remotely and leveraging teams means that, people can acquire more skills, people can earn more money, teachers can earn more money. For the learners too as well, some of those, their videos, their lectures is being recorded. They can always go back to those lectures, rewatch them. So it just makes it really very seamless for people. And also, in the corporate world as well, as a result of COVID, so we've seen the effect of COVID all around the world. So using Teams is becoming really very popular here in Nigeria. A lot of students are putting it to use. More businesses are embracing it. So I hope with this, I've been able to give you an idea of what the usage of Microsoft Teams looks like here in Nigeria. So it's over to you now, Paul.
Brilliant. What a great presentation and a real insight as well into how things have changed in Nigeria with the use of Teams. And it's great to hear from such a selection of people there. Really clever how you did that. Fantastic.
Thank you.
We haven't had any questions in the chat, but if anyone does have any questions, please do post them in the chat there. Or if you do want to ask it, I can take you off mute and you're able to ask that question. So please raise your hand if you want to come off mute, or use the meeting chat there for posting your question. Just looking now at the chat, doesn't seem to be anything coming in just yet, but we'll give it a minute just to see what people might be frantically typing away.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got one from Sharon. It's for me. So will you be able to access the recordings after, as I'd like to share with the team? Yes, all these sessions today at Teams Nation are being recorded and they will be posted on the Teams Nation YouTube channel. I will post details of that in the chat there for you to check out. It'll probably take a few days, maybe week or so, because you imagine there's a lot of sessions going on across this event that need editing and then putting up onto there. So I'll just paste in the YouTube link, but anyone else got any questions, please feel free to ask away. Doesn't look like we've got any other questions coming in, so thank you very much for your presentation today. You talked really insightful stuff about how Teams is being used, and I think that's what's great about these events, because we sort of see how things are happening around us, but things like this, the global event, really opens your eyes into how changes have happened with COVID and technology and so on across the world. So thank you very much for sharing that brilliant stuff.
Thank you very much, Paul. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Okay. Thank you. You too.